Yo guys, what is going on? Blossoms back. Welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Today we gotta review a pack. Review a pack. It is indeed Lina's collection carbon fiber. But before we get into that, you know how like recently I've been saying that it's weird that they bring Lina back, but they didn't use Kyoko, Lady Blackwood, or Spida. I'm so sorry because I totally forgot who commented that, but whoever did, you are a legend because I realized something. I realized something from his comment, so he technically realized something, whoever made that comment, right? The three bosses that didn't get a boss challenge are all the bosses that are using clubs. I just realized that. Like, Legacy is Lady Blackwood, Full Throttle is Spida, and the GTR, Midnight, is Kyoko, which I think is crazy. Also, end of the season, I don't play this thing anymore, man, honestly. But yeah, I'm not sure if there's any way to look at it. I don't think there is here. But yeah, the three bosses that they did not include are the bosses that are part of clubs, which I think is very interesting. You can see them over here. So yeah, the Kyoko one, so she's Midnight, and then Spida, who is Full Throttle, and last one, Lady Blackwood, who is Legacy. So I think that's very interesting. Now I'm starting to think that there's probably another reason to use those guys. I don't know. Maybe they might make a club challenge. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, man. But this is a game mode that they have not touched in years. Literal years. I'm not even over exaggerating. But anyway, guys, today we are talking about Lina's collection, the return of Lina part 2, whatever way you want to call it. If you guys remember from that video I made about ranking every single boss challenge, Lina was one of the best. Now, that's not a high benchmark because most of them were pretty bad, and the only good one was Gunter, like, who had a really, really good score, but Lina was in the top 3, and I wonder if Hutch brought Lina back to try and ruin his score, you know, give her an even worse challenge. I guess we'll find out. As always with the series, we're going to talk about, you know, the cards that you can get from the pack that you need to open for this challenge. Pretty good prize, all things considered. Very good prize being given out. So here are the ranks. Their cards are versatile, requires some criteria, requires a special tag challenge in Robin's Wondrous World, a plus and minus 3 RQ, which is where we're going to begin with the Skoda Kodiak. This thing is terrible. Like, it should be a 49 at this point, and the only reason why it's not 49 is the definition of Robin's Wondrous World. He's not going to change anything if it's within that plus and minus 3 RQ threshold. Next up is the Chevrolet Tahoe RST. I really wanted to put this in Robin's Wondrous World, but I did go and check briefly on Top Drive's records to see how it performs, and against the super rares, and like the best of the super rares are things like the Buick Encore and the Suzuki Ignis, for example, right? The Chevrolet can hold its own. That being said, you're not going to use it anywhere else besides this challenge, so it definitely is the definition of requires a special tag challenge. Same thing for the Buick Envision. I don't think you're going to be using it anywhere else. The Lincoln Navicross, however, I'm actually genuinely going to put in Der Kaiser. It is a fantastic car. It is a great dragster, beating out things like the Campaign Trailblazer, also beating the Cadillac Escalade IQ. And I think the Lincoln Navicross, if I'm not mistaken, is actually classified as like an estate or something like that. It's a bit strange, right? Where is it? Saloon SUV. Yes, it's classified as a saloon. So it's an all-surface tire saloon. It is a drag car. It really isn't that bad, I'll be honest with you. It's actually very, very good, and I do get good use out of it in situational cases. As you can see here, I've used it 458 times with an 81% win ratio. 81% is, I would say, high for an ultra rare, because this car goes against epics and legendaries sometimes, and it beats all the ultra rares, and it has a higher win percentage than my Brabham. Anyway, moving on from the Navicross is the BMW 430i Coupe. I'm going to put that in special tag challenge as well. The Volvo V50, same thing. I think most cars are going to fall under special tag challenge. I did look at the tag before, and I think most of them are going to fall under this requirement. The Subaru Crosstrek Limited comes next. I'm also going to put that in requires a special tag challenge, but for the Ram 1500, that is terrible. I'm going to bring that down. It does not deserve to be at 56, and I'm not saying that it should be a super rare, but I'm saying it should be like a 53 or a 52. The thing is absolutely terrible. I think some off-road tire cars were overcorrected, and they're a little bit too high in their RQ in the most recent car correction change. And in hindsight, when I say most recent car correction change, it isn't that recent anymore, is it? It's quite a while ago at this point. That being said, a lot of these off-road tire cars, they kind of got overcorrected, kind of got overinflated, a little bit too expensive to use, and that RAM is no exception. The Cadillac XC4 is another one. I'm going to put that in requires some criteria. It has decent handling, AT4 handling when you fully upgrade that. For 56 RQ, it's a little bit of a bargain, and it handles better than all the other all-surface tire cars that you can get from this niche, including cars that are higher in RQ, like the Audi A4 Allroad, for example, which I'm going to put in requires a special tag challenge. It even equals the same amount of handling as the Porsche Cayenne 3.6. I mean, they're both 76, but the only difference is that 1 second 0 to 60, right? Okay, so the Porsche Cayenne, since we're already talking about it, I made a video a very long time ago, I want to say half a year to maybe even more than that, talking about what were the best RQ65s in the game. And the Porsche Cayenne was on that list. It was actually one of the best RQ65s that I considered at the time. But you need to realize that back then, when I made that video, this Porsche and this BMW were both RQ65s, right? So obviously this BMW is a worse car, and I felt that that needed to go down, the Porsche could stay. And I think the way that I was, grading the cars in that video was I wasn't being as, I guess, drastic as Hutch. I wasn't thinking about plus and minus 3 RQ. In my head, I thought the BMW performed like a 62 or 63. And if this performs like a 62 or 63, then this can perform like a 65-ish. That being said, it has gone down to a 61. And the way that Hutch is scaling things is a little bit more drastic than what I thought about in that video many years ago. So what I'm basically trying to say is that if this is a 61, then this should be like a 63. Like saying that if this is a 63, then this should be a 65, if that makes sense. So, the Porsche Cayenne is pretty terrible now. I'm going to say Robin's 1 as well, plus and minus 3 RQ. So, in case, you're an astute viewer and listener of my channel, and you see me put the Cayenne in Robin's Wonders World, and you remember me saying that it was a pretty good 65, I did all that explanation just so you didn't need to bring that up, okay? The BMW X7, though, it used to be a 65. If it was a 65, I'll put it here with the Porsche. But it's going down to a 61, and I think it's actually relatively decent. I'm going to put it in requires some criteria. I still prefer using the white X5. That's RQ62. I believe that is a slightly better option. That being said, this X7 isn't too bad as well. The Jaguar S-Type. This one, I'm going to talk about the X-Type, and I'm going to talk about the Mercedes-Benz at the same time, because they're the true definition of requires a special tag challenge. We go back into top drives over here. We go into challenges, and for Lina's collection, I've already completed 4 and 5. You can see that I've completely neglected 1, 2, and 3 because we have the energy points now. So I only have 8. So I wanted to finish 4 and 5 first because they give out the carbon fibers. 1, 2, and 3 can wait because ceramic packs suck. But yeah, I already finished those 2 challenges. And in challenges 4 and 5, I actually used a lot of the Jaguar S-Type along with the Mercedes C55. And I gotta tell you, man, I don't use these 2 cars anywhere else. Let's look at the Mercedes C55, for example. Hopefully if I put in 55, everything should be okay. I didn't press an 8 anywhere, did I? Good. Yeah, I'm always scared when I put an 8 because then it just zooms in on my face. But yeah, C55. So how many times have I actually used this bad boy? Because I used it like 6 times in the challenge. I've used it 55 times in total. So yeah, in over 1,000 days as well, which is absolutely crazy. But anyway, that is going to be special tag challenge for sure. I didn't use it any other time. I don't think it's like terrible. I think it's a little bit high in RQ. I feel like it should be more of like a 57 instead of a 58. But it's not Robin's Wonders World because I would need to think that it's a 55 for me to put it in the lowest rank. Volvo V90 is up next. I'm going to put that in special tag challenge as well. I feel like I'm probably going to need that later on in the challenge, but I haven't used it much yet. The Renault Nepta, I honestly think is pretty bad. Honestly, we've not had a lot of French Riviera challenges or events where I've used this thing too much. I think it is a special tag challenge kind of car. I know it's decent on like a hairpin, but again, there are better options to use. So I'm going to put it on special tag challenge. Cadillac Era is fantastic. I'm going to put that in Dirkhyzer. It is amazing on like a wet slalom especially, but it's also very good on the slalom. It's also very good on very twisty wet track sets like wet karting or wet car park. Wet car park is great. G-Force is pretty good too. The Aston Martin DB7 GT. I use it a lot again in the challenge alongside the Jaguar and the Mercedes. Special tag challenge for sure. The Mini Countryman, again, I'm going to put it there. Decent handling. Not as good as the XC4 though. So I would take the XT4 over the Mini Countryman, especially if it's like a snow or ice track set. If it's dirt or gravel, then the Countryman would be better, but you would expect it to be better. It's RQ61 for crying out loud compared to the Cadillac 56. The Buick LaCrosse is up next. I'm gonna put that in versatile, and the Chevrolet Silverado, I'm gonna put that in requires some criteria as well. Now, moving on to the epics, we've got a lot of 65s here, dude. Like, it ain't even funny how many 65s we got. EX90, Robin's Wondrous World, Impreza, Robin's Wondrous World, this Audi, Robin's Wondrous World, the Alpine, I'm gonna put in a special tag challenge. In fact, the Audi, I'm gonna put in a special tag challenge as well. That used to be considered like RQ69. It's already gone down for RQ, and for the most part, I think Hutch actually did a pretty decent job at balancing the Audis. There's still a lot of useless Audis out there, but at least they feel a little bit more competitive after the most recent, in quotation mark, car correction change. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in requires special tag challenge. The Alpine as well. I kind of trust the system a little bit. You know, it's a brand new car. It is, you know, a car that came after the car correction challenge. I hope that the Alpine was graded with their new grading system, which makes it, you know, more, you know, accurate as an RQ65, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna put in a required special tag challenge. That being said, this is a car, like, I feel like it'd be really, really good if it was an ultra rare. Like, it would be like the Alpha 4C and 8C, right? But like, you know, you gotta draw the line somewhere. I guess the Alpine is the line. The Renault Fluence GT touring car, I'm gonna say requires some criteria. You know, we already talked about this car in the overrated or overpowered series. It actually beats the Trophy Magon in a couple of places, so it's not that bad. For a 66 as well, especially in French Riviera scenarios, which doesn't come up too often, honestly. You know, I would say it is a pretty decent car. The Audi S5, oh, AT4 handling, 4-wheel drive. I'm gonna put it in a special tag challenge as well. Subaru Impreza, oh man. Oh, where did I put that one? I think it's Robin's Wondrous World plus and minus 3 RQ. They fixed the Audis in the most recent car correction change, but they did not fix the Subarus. And I think a lot of that goes to the fact that, you know, these Subarus are medium ground clearance, and Hutch didn't really change any RQs for cars that are medium ground clearance, even though cars that are medium ground clearance in top drives are still overinflated. So yeah, most of these Subarus are medium ground clearance. I think a lot of these Subarus need to go down to an ultra rare. I think they'd be pretty decent as ultra rares. Like, I can see these two cars as like 64s and 63s, and they'll do pretty well. Ram 1500 Revolution's up next. Again, this is Robin's Wondrous World. This thing is completely useless. A low 0 to 60, yeah, but like, it's hardly a dragster. The Mitsuoka Buddy is a special tag challenge. I mean, if there's any time for me to use my fully upgraded Mitsuoka Buddy, it's has to be now. Like, it literally has to be now, man. Like, there's no other place where I could probably use the car, so it'd be like that. I don't think it should be an ultra rare just yet, but I could see it as a 65. Moving on, the Alfa Disco Volante. I'm gonna put that in special tag challenge. The Integra Type R, tough one, you know. I feel like it's fair for me to put it with the Fluence, but we've had the Integra for quite some time, right? For like at least 5 months now, and I have the Integra and I never use it. I never do. I know it looks like a car that has potential, but the fact of the matter is I never use it. You know, the Fluence still has a few more months for it to settle in to see how useful it actually is. But for the Integra, I gotta say, I never used the car. I mean, yes, it looks like it's better than the Fluence. I get that. But, it's a tough one because I feel like I need to bring the Integra down, but it's not fair for me to bring the Integra down and keep the Fluence up. You know? Oh man, by the skin of its teeth, I'm gonna put in require some criteria because this thing is relatively useful in like a Honda only event, like how the Renault Fluence, I'm grading it useful because it's useful in the French Riviera event. So I'm gonna leave it there for now. I might change my mind later. The Cadillac CT6. This is the second car I'm putting in versatile. It is one of the best rear-wheel drive standard tire cars that you can unpack. And honestly, it's a car that I get a lot of use out of. Like, I have no regrets maxing that out. And it's a pretty decent machine, I gotta say. Moving on is the Veloster NTCR. I'm gonna put that in versatile as well. It's got great MRA, great to use in front wheel drive events. One of the higher RQ front wheel drive cars in the game as well, beating out things like these two basically. And then we've got the but then again, should I put it there because there are better options than the Hyundai Veloster? Like, I know it goes toe to toe with the Mazda 3. It does lose to a lot of prize cars. Chevy Cruze is not a prize car as well, but then you can argue Chevy Cruze is Dirk Kaiser. Then you put this in versatile, maybe. Okay, sure, I'll put it there for now. Audi R8 Spider, I'm gonna put that in requires some criteria. We've got the Audi S3 Saloon. I'm gonna put that in versatile because that's one of the few Audis that has medium ground clearance, but also carries the balance of decent handling for what it is. The BMW M2 CS, I'm gonna say, requires some criteria. I love that car. I have it fully upgraded, and I'm very excited to actually use it for this challenge because I love an M2, man. I really do. Like, it's like my guilty pleasure car, I guess. The BMW M2. You know, I love big blocky cars like the 1969 Dodge Charger or the W126 Mercedes S-Class, or what else? A Plymouth Roadrunner, for example. And I think the M2 CS is not really that blocky, actually. The ironic part is that the newest generation of the BMW M2 CS, the one that pays homage to the DTM cars, is the blockiest one, and is the one that I like the least. Which I think is quite funny, actually. All right, Bentley. They used to be a legend. Where do I rank you? I'm gonna put it with the BMW. It's just meh. The Flying Spur is a little bit better because it is medium ground clearance and is one of the better ones that you can use. I'm putting it in the same place where I'm putting the Audi because I'm using them in the same situations, but for different countries and for different brands. They're decent medium ground clearance cars within their country, within their rarity, and within their brand. Moving on is the Peugeot 308R Hybrid. Honestly speaking, I don't think it's that good. I've never owned the car. It used to be a legend. It went down, one of the first cars to go down to Epic that used to be a legend before all the Audis. Never needed to use it, never miss not owning it, never regret not owning it. Like, it's just, it exists, I guess. The Audi TT, oh man, I want to say requires some criteria. Like, it used to be a legend, and I think it's going to be decent as an Epic. It's 95 handling with like 3.10 to 60 or something for a four-wheel drive. It really isn't that bad. It is better than the Bentley. I'm inclined to put it in versatile, actually. It's a car where, like, if I ever unpacked it, and I did as a legend, but I sold it. But if I ever unpacked it as an Epic, I'll be like, you know what, it's not bad. I might consider maxing that. The Audi RS. Okay, this is an Audi that I was forced to fully upgrade, but I love it. I actually love it. The R6 Avant. I was forced to upgrade it, but like, it didn't hurt because it's such a cool freaking car. I love that car. I really do. And it's been so useful for me as well. 2.994 other stats. It's not like amazing, but it gets the job done. And this is a car that I can definitely speak off from experience because I own it and I have it fully upgraded, and it's been a useful car for me. And honestly, if I put these two cars in the same, I can't put these two cars in the same rack. I just can't. I have to move this down. Yeah, I have to. Moving on is the Audi R8 rear-wheel drive, right? I'm gonna put that in requires some criteria. It's not the worst Audi legendary because it is rear-wheel drive. It will get 98 handling. It has some MRA, but it ain't the best thing in the world. The Pagani Zonda Roadster, I'm gonna put in requires some criteria as well. MRA is very good, but there are just many other Paganis to use. This Miura Concept, I'm gonna be honest, it's a special tag challenge kind of car. I don't think it's a good legendary at all. I've not seen a single soul use the Miura Concept. If you want to change my mind on it, feel free to let me know down in the comments below, but this is a car where I just genuinely feel has no use. Almost every Lamborghini is four-wheel drive, and there are Lamborghinis that handle better than this anyway, so what's the point? The BMW M4 Competition M Coupe. Love myself a G80, I really do, but again, you don't really see this car get used in anything. It's got good MRA, I think. I know the Epic's a fantastic MRA. I'm actually not sure if this one has good MRA. It's tough. I kind of want to put it in special tag challenge. I feel like you don't use it anywhere else. I really don't think you use it. I love the car and I love the photo and I would love to unpack it, but like, I can't see it being very useful. The Zoe Esports is better. It handles well, low 0 to 60. I put that requires some criteria. The Peugeot Inception I put in the same way as well. And then I think everything else is basically just Dirk Kaiser, like the Radicals, the Porsche. Yeah, I mean, it's just classic, hutchery, right? With the boss tag challenge. Put in a bunch of mediocre stuff, but put in like some of the best legendaries, you know, like that's basically what they're doing here. Honestly, we talked about the Apollo era. The Apollo era actually isn't that great. I mean, not the Apollo, the Alpine, the Alpine. I thought that's a prize card coming up. The Alpine A4110. I'm actually kind of thinking like maybe I should move it down. Like it isn't that amazing for a 97. Like look at 2693. This is 2794. They're very close in terms of stats, but you know this is 94. This is 97. Hot take. I think it's very overrated. Honestly, I'm thinking back at like overrated or overpowered, right? And I remember looking at this car, and I was judging this car, and I was losing to a bunch of like 96s and 95s. I can't remember what the cars exactly were, but if you want, you can check out that video of my overrated, overpowered series for French Riviera. Yeah, this car does not deserve to be a 97. I'm sorry, this car just does not deserve to be a 97. Like it deserves to be like a 94, 95. So it should really drop in RQ. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. I think people will agree with me in a sense that I'm saying that car should go down in RQ, but they might disagree for me putting it in like the lowest tier ever. You know what I mean? And I get that. Okay, maybe that's too much. That's too much. I'll put it there. It's a mid. It's a mid car. Okay. Anyway, let's open some packs, shall we? I got 2 carbon fibers here for y'all. Let's get this. I think if I claim these 2, I might be able to get the ceramic pack as well. Let's check it out. I mean, with my luck, it's just gonna be 2 ultra rares. What is an ultra that I want? What is an ultra that I don't? That I don't own even? What can you even get? Silverado maybe? Yeah, Silverado or the BMW X7. There you go. If you can give me the Silverado or BMW X7, I'm chilling. You know, I'll take it. You want to give me an epic? Give me that Audi TT. I'm not gonna lie. Give me that RQ77 Audi TT. Wouldn't mind that. And we got an Audi. Well, we got an Audi, but it wasn't the one we're looking for. Well, it really do be like that. Anyway, 2 carbon fibers down the drain. More really unfortunate luck. I hope you guys have a great day. We're gonna stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville
Atlantic.
Blonde hair, don't care, look like Leslie Brooks. Pin up girls everywhere with the drop